Hey, everybody, this is Sherry Levon, and I want to first welcome you to the Souls Right House Empowerment Center, where we are a ministry that helps to empower the authors all around the world that are sharing their gifts and talents by spreading the word and being a voice. Now, we have a wonderful author that's going to be on our show today. His name is Willie Inman Sr., and he is a pastor over in Georgia. Now, it's actually I believe it's pronounced Saint Mount Sinai Covenant Church with God Incorporated in East Dublin, Georgia. So we are super excited to have him on board. We want to welcome you to the Souls Right Empowerment Center. We are covered with Honey Rock Victorious Church here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we are in Operation Expansion right now. And as you all know, I'm always doing song messages of God. And when we do song messages of God, you know, we always invite you into the room to come and share and be a part of what we're doing. And as you all know, we are doing for the next month and a half. As you all know, we've been on Kingdom Purpose TV, and it has been such a blessing being on the TV with them. They have a wonderful network. So I'm advising you all to make sure that you tune in on Wednesdays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you are going to meet a variety of authors that are going to come through the Kingdom Purpose TV. So right now, we're getting ready to bring you song messages of God, and we will be right back. Are you listening? So messages of God.
All right.
How many of y'all know that God woke you up? Ain't you glad God woke you up this morning, Mr. Willie?
Yes. Yes, I am.
We're glad God woke us up this morning.
Yes.
We wanted to say to you guys, as you all know, we do song messages of God, and we're so blessed. God gives me a message every day, Mr. Willie. And since the death of my kids, I was in this I can say a depression to where I was totally broken. And as you all get to learn more of me and learn more about the root of my pain, God started to give me messages every day. And a lot of us that are ministers and preachers, we talk all the time. We tell it, speak it. But I'm a psalmist. And so what God was doing through me is he said, even though you're an evangelist, you're ordained, you teach, but I gave you the gift of singing.
Yes.
And so singing became my outlet, writing songs, writing books, writing poetry. But then God said, I'm going to give you song messages from God. And he said, and what I want you to do is every day I give you a word. I just want you to sing the word to the people, because it seems like we keep the word with us when we sing it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
People can say stuff, but it's something about a song
Yes.
that just totally takes you to another level. And so that's what God was doing through me. And so that's why you hear the song messages of God. And so we always throw in 2 song messages of God through our tapings just to inspire people. That song that come on was called Do You Believe? And that was the message God wanted, is that people gonna look at the song and see the hat and everything, and that's all good. But that thing that's gonna stay in their mind is, do you believe?
Yes.
Do you believe in God? Do you believe he will save your soul? Do you believe that? Because it's your soul, man, that's broken. And so God wants to heal that. Now, one of the things I want you guys to know is that we have Mr. Willie here. I'm going to show you his book. Now, I am super proud of this guy. He had a virtual book release this past Saturday. It was phenomenal. It was great to see. Now, Mr. Willie, I'm going to have you to go ahead and speak more about your book so that more people are aware about who you are, what you do. I'm going to bring you up close first so everybody can see who you are. And then I want you to go in a little detail and tell us about your book.
Yes. My name is Willie J. Inman, Sr. I am the pastor of Mount Sinai Covenant Church in East Dublin, Georgia, here in Georgia. I'm so excited and elated to be on Evangelist Sherry Levon Williams program. We listen, this book, The Cry of the Millennium, The Cry of the Millennials. You're looking at it. I raised four children from age 37 to 26, and they are all millennials. So throughout the life, I've been watching and just different things that they've done, good, bad, and ugly. And I've during the pandemic, I just began to think about my children, safety, different things, and I began to write. And I come up with this: the cry of the millennials.
Wow.
Many millennials they're dealing with a lot of things that people don't realize. One, a lot of people are saying, well, they're young, they don't understand, they don't know, but I beg to differ because most millennials have graduated from college. A lot of them are married, got children, so they know a lot of the things of life, even though at that young age, because of the education and different things. However, millennials are dealing with a lot of issues, identity problems, credibility. Many now are leaving home and going and further away so that they don't even know anybody where they are at. So it's imperative that we get this book in your library, The Cry of the Millennium. Not only it's going to help millennials, but it's going to also help parents and grandparents of millennials to really understand the complexity and the complex mind that a millennial have. Miss Sherry, just saying it as a whole, millennials, most of them, especially working millennials, and even at the home, the job, and the church, those three areas, you deal with a lot of millennials because of this age span from 1981 to 1996. And a lot of people are trying to correct millennials instead of connecting.
Wow.
I'm saying don't correct, connect.
Ooh,
if it's in the family, we always want to correct. You did this, you did that, you said that, but who is connecting? Who is listening to the cry? They're crying out, but nobody's listening. And that's what this book is about.
So that's what I'm putting down in the notes. Don't correct them, connect.
Connect.
Yes, I like that. That's another book.
Well, you're right. That's what I learned as being a father of four millennials. Instead of doing so much correcting, you got to get in and connect. You got to get in and find what are they thinking? What's this millennial thinking about? The man cave. My boys used to tell me about, Dad, when I get a house, I want to get a man cave. I listen to that. Millennials, the men, they want their own personal space. They don't work all day. They want that man cave. So the Lord had me. Then the lady of the house. That's one of the chapters. The lady of the house, where that millennial wife, she's running that house. Most of them are working. They got a husband. They got 3-4 kids. And then they got to leave work, they got to change hat. So that lady of the house, they need to read that. Young women, they need to learn about. Then I've got the book, Family Feud. It talks about the values. One chapter is That's a Fact, Jack. It talks about the facts of the millennial versus the generation of Y. That younger one is coming up. It's a lot of things that go on. All this is in this book. It is in this book, The Cry of the Millennial. The house prophet. We have the house prophet, that young millennial prophet that has a word, but nobody want to listen because they're young. So it's a lot of things in these chapters that relate to the millennial. Playing like a child is one of the chapters. It talks about media. Millennials, I mean, they go from waking up in the morning with their cell phone. It wakes them up. It tells them the different classes, what time to run, what time to take the medication, their own medication, everything. That cell phone is what they go by. So they love the media. So playing like a child, even older millennials, they like board games. They like different things dealing with games and stuff like that. So GameStop, they probably make a lot of money off millennials. but that's what they like. And this book has everything. The cry of the millennials. They're crying out, but who is listening?
And that's all we have to do is listen. That's what God is saying today. And as we continue, God, he's such a good God. Like, one thing I'm learning about God, and as we grow with God, is God wants all of us to understand that there's a generational curse. What the things that happened with our parents that we got to see, and we were able to make some changes, and we didn't have to worry about the color thing, white side, black side.
Yeah.
Then you go into the 70s, then you got the kids in the 90s, because my kids were born in the late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. And there is a big shift in our children. There's a super big shift in how our kids are. I mean, a lot of kids today don't have grannies anymore.
Right.
A lot of kids, they don't have the grannies. And that was one of the things I loved about growing up is I had a granny. I had a grandma.
Big mama.
Talk to me. You better know it, big mama. And little mama though, because our granny was little. But it's like I miss a lot of these kids don't have the grannies, and then they have some of the grannies and the mamas they have are kind of like trying to be their friends. They're all trying to, trying to stay a kid herself, and it's like at some point our children have watched things over the years. We've watched how music has changed dramatically. Music, when I grew up, made you want to be in a relationship, made you want to be married. It made you want to live that happy life with the house and the picket fence and the whole nine. And it's like kids today have been conditioned. Number one, their families are mass incarcerated, so they get them so much time that it alleviates them growing up with their parents.
Right.
For these crimes that they commit, they overcharge them and overgive them time. And it's like our kids are crying out for help in a way where they're needing a hug. I found that some kids, when you just stop and give them a hug, you'd be surprised that the kids today are so antisocial, they're so separated from affection.
Yeah.
Music today doesn't help them love people. It tells them to hurt them. It tells them to stay away from them. And to me, that's what's really sad in today's time is really dealing with our music industry and how it has really changed our children. Here goes another song message of God, that as we encounter some of the things that God is saying and the messages that he's saying that no matter what it is you're going through, whether you're a parent with hard-headed children, a parent with good children, and then they don't want to go to school, or they do go to school, they end up pregnant. But God is saying in today's time that if you just keep going, God will show up when you keep going. It's not the quitters. You can't quit. Things come about your life, counterfeits and all kind of stuff, but that lets you know you're on track. And I tell people all the time, you're either tested by the devil or you are the devil. There ain't no in between. God said he speaks out lukewarm people. So there is no middleman. People walking around here with middleman mentalities, and that doesn't exist. And so God is saying you're either or. So in this next song, this song is called You Got to Keep It Going. Keep it going, and God definitely will show up if you let him. Let's get it going. God can show up. Nobody told us that the road would be easy. Keep going. God can show up. When you go through some pain, it's just a test of your faith. Keep going. God keep showing up. Hey, God will keep on showing up, y'all.
Yeah.
Around your city, yeah. Oh, people are petty, but you can't stop God asking me. Oh, only you. Yeah. Hey, song messages of God. Understand this. Understand this. Understand this. He will never leave. Understand this. You will mess up sometimes. Understand this. Oh, yeah. Understand this. Understand this. God is saying, you got to understand this. People, when these millennials hear my music, and see, I know what God is doing. God is taking music that the devil tried to use for bad.
Right.
Turns right around, and God says, use those beats, but put my message to it.
Right.
It's working. I mean, I got some producers that is just, and that's what he's doing. You hear that beat come in, this music, you'll think that you're about to hear some R&B, but God says, hold up, swole up. There's some message in it, okay? And that's what's happening, and it's taking off. God is really doing a fabulous thing, and I just thank God for what he's doing in this season right now. Now, back to this book, Millennial Cries. What has blessed me about this book, I have ordered my copy, so my copy is on its way. And one of the things that blessed me about you, yes, sir, I'm gonna order a couple copies. We have a support group that meets every second Saturday, and we're gonna be introducing you, and we're gonna bring you into the room. In January, we'll bring you into our support group. You'll be an author, and it's free to get to be. It's a Zoom call. Bring different authors in the room to meet a support group of authors, wannabe authors, people that's lost kids, people that's lost things, and they're hurting. And what happens is the hurt is a trick to get you off track.
Yes, it is.
The hurt is a trick to get you off track. And so what God is saying to me today is nobody's exempt from pain. Even God himself had experienced pain when he sent his own self down here through Jesus. He had to go through pain. So God is saying pain ain't going nowhere. It's not going anywhere. Because the more pain you go through, the more hell you come out of.
Yes.
Woo, and that's good. The more pain, anybody out there, this is a book title. The more pain you go through, the more hell you're coming out of. And so
good sermon too.
Ain't that a good sermon? So God is saying, don't let the pain fool you, honey, because you get through it. You know, when you get through it, God bring you to it so that he can get you through it. And so that's one of the things you have to remember. And so if you can give us a couple of the names of your chapters in this book.
Yes, the couple of the names of the chapters of the books. Chapter 1 is the man cave. I talked about it. Chapter 2 is the lady of the house. Then chapter 3 is the silent scream. 4 is get out the cycle. In house prophet, jump, stop, and roll.
Oh wow!
Jump, stop, and roll. It talks about the differences. Then the war within. And is one of the chapters as well. But Miss Sherry, if you would allow me, I'd like to introduce the chapter. The introduction is to read maybe just one paragraph, if it's all right. This is the introduction. This is how the Lord had me to come in with this book. And I'm just reading the first paragraph. It said, all throughout history, there has been someone crying. A baby crying for a mother's breast milk, someone losing a loved one, and a vast amount of tragedies that made us cry out to the Lord. There is a new cry going on that many are not hearing. The young adults are crying. However, no one is listening to them. This group of young people are struggling with their identity, not knowing what their real gender is. Some are saying that I'm trapped. I am crying out for help. Another young adult is having problems cohabitate with wanting love. And however is afraid to make a total commitment to their partner or vice versa. Also, the credibility, as I said earlier, many young folks have been severed toward the older generation because of the examples that many do not produce what they are saying by the fundamental law of practicing what you are preaching. That is the first paragraph in our introducing this book with the different chapters. A lot of young millennials, they love it. My daughter, she's a very critic, but she loved that lady of the house. She has 4 children, ages 10 through 8 months, and it just fit in her agenda, in her arena of being there, a working mother with 4 kids, husband. That lady of the house is just, she thinks every millennial woman need to read that. I agree with that.
And have you thought about doing it in an audiobook?
Am I doing an audio book?
Yeah, have you thought about doing it in audio?
No, I haven't, but that's a great idea. I like that.
Because what it is I've connected with a app that allow you to actually do it for free, and then you charge. That way people can go on the site and they can purchase it and download it, because we have people who are blind. I have a lady that every book I do, I end up doing an audio version for her, and she said, "Can you do an audio book?" And it just blew my mind. And so I do have an app that I will get with you. It's called Awesound. AW, it's like Awesound, AWESOUND. And what happens is you go on that site and it helps you to create your audiobook. So you read it yourself, or you can have somebody else read it. You're able to go in and, like, when I do mine, I'm always in GarageBand or Apple. So I get in GarageBand. I can make my own sound. So if it needs to be a door knock or a car door, or you can really be creative in GarageBand. And one of the things I do like to say is people that have Apples, take advantage of GarageBand, because it allows you to do your own taping. Like, it'll let you to read the whole book. It'll let you change sounds, vocal sounds. It'll do all that in GarageBand. So take advantage of GarageBand and read your book. First, just read it, then go in and add the sounds to the book. It'll blow your mind, and it will take you to another dimension, because a lot of people love to hear books now. And so, that would be a good tool to use, because then you can start a podcast to where the podcast can be a subscription, and then you can come into the room and hear every book you come up with. So there's some things that we'll learn together through the Souls Right House and Authors Network. And I share everything that I do. I'm not a stingy person. When God gives it to you, then it's not yours. That's one thing He teaches me, is when I give it to you, go do what you do, but then it don't belong to you. It wasn't yours. If it was yours, you'd have thought of it. I'm like, okay, God, I get you. So that's one of the good things. I have great tools. And once again, I want other people to be aware of the book again. His book is called Apostle J.W. Emmons Senior D.D. Now, what's that D.D. stand for?
Well, I got a little education behind me. I went to school and got my doctor's divinity. After I retired, I was kind of so I went back to school. I officially got my bachelor's in business administration, and I retired. From the military after 30 years. Then I had time to, so I went back to school and got my doctorate.
That is absolutely wonderful. For those of you out on Amazon, and you can also go on Apostle W.J. Emmons' Facebook page. I actually have been all over his page. For all of you all, he has a page here on Facebook that you can go to. I have been strolling. They're going to be having December the 1st through the 5th. They're having their 18th annual Holy Convocation, which is Walking in the Promise. And it's December the 1st through the 5th. They have some wonderful speakers that will be there. And actually, it was the last one was what, Friday?
Saturday, Sunday. We closed that Sunday.
Yeah, so y'all been on a mighty move of God. And so a lot of people have been, I've been strolling through your Facebook page, and that's what some of the people can see today. They're able to see just some of the pages here on your Facebook page. But you guys, please make sure that you look for this book, The Cry of the Millennium. And we're going to be bringing back Mr. Emmons on our show. He's going to be coming on monthly. So every first, this is a Monday. So every first Wednesday of the month, He's going to be coming on our show, and we're going to be so blessed by the messages that he brings. He's going to be bringing you more information about his book, which we are so excited to learn about. And we just want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Souls Right House Empowerment Center. If you are interested in becoming a guest on our show, all you got to do is go to soulsrighthouse.com/contact us, and we will get you connected and get your book out here for the world. Now, this will air on Kingdom Purpose TV Wednesday at 11 p.m. And it is also available on demand. So if you happen to miss it this coming Wednesday, December the 8th, you will be able to tune in. Just go to your Roku channel, all your streaming devices, look for Kingdom Purpose TV, and I will send all those links out. I actually have a flyer out that will expose the date that he'll be on, which is this Wednesday. And you just go to Roku and all your streaming devices and look for Kingdom Purpose TV. And once you get that app in, you just search Souls Right House Empowerment Center, and we will be right there. So, Mr. Willie, if there's anything you'd like to share with anybody before we go.
Well, I thank you again for this opportunity, and yes, we want to those that will, if when they go and purchase our book, if they go to Libris.com and get the book, please leave me a review of what you thought about the book, or if they want an autograph copy, they can inbox me on my Facebook page so we can get that to them if they want an autograph. But we do want that review, and thank you again for allowing us to be here with you on this show. We enjoy it. We're looking forward to being here every month. I have 2 other books I want to introduce as well.
You got it. And one of the good things I'm going to say about you is that we also send books to inmates in prison. So our women, men that are locked up, we want to get these books to inmates in prison. So those of you all, we send books to inmates in prison. Individuals can't do it. So if you're interested in sending this book to him, once again, you get this book ordered. We're going to be ordering some copies as well. We're going to also be talking to him about getting the book up on our website and on the bookstore, because then when you get it in our bookstore, when they click on it, it'll automatically purchase the book and send it directly to them. And also I want to get 100 of these books. I'm going to put it out there. The Lord has sent 100 copies of this book. We want to get it to the inmates in prison. So between now and January 15th, we want to do a campaign where we're going to get a Cry Millennial, and we're going to get these books to inmates in prison. You'd be surprised at how they are in prison. They don't get letters. They don't get writings. And to get a book means so much. So also, if you want to look into how to get your book to inmates in prison, I'll talk to you about becoming a distribution company, because when you do that, you're able to send the books directly to the prisons.
So we want to do it all.
We want to do it all. So you guys get ready for some partnerships that's going to be happening with us. I'm going to be looking with him about coming down to his church there in Georgia. So there's a lot of great things that we're going to be doing. We're going to put together a authors conference, and we're going to be coming down to Georgia and coming to a couple of cities, especially as the new year is coming in. So we just thank you so much for sharing this time with us. And we're going to close out with another song message from God.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
I just want to be like Jesus.
All right. Me too.
I just want to be like
I love this song.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Make me more like you. I just want to be. I'm ready. God, I heard what the preacher said to me, but now I'm ready for me to tell the preacher I'm ready. Now I'm faith. with my gift. Tell them that you're ready. Share his love.